Welcome to our global news roundup for Thursday, July 10th, 2025. Today, we cover the Ukraine Recovery Conference in Rome, where world leaders are pledging major support for Ukraine's reconstruction. We'll also break down a new UK-France migration and defense pact and the latest escalation in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, including fresh US military aid. Global markets are surging on tech optimism, while in the Middle East, a fragile hostage deal and renewed Houthi attacks keep tensions high. In sports, Delhi will host the 2027 World Shooting Championships, and Wimbledon semi-finals deliver high drama. We'll wrap up with rapid-fire updates, new sanctions on Iran, an Israeli drone strike in Lebanon, and Taiwan's latest military drills. Stay with us for clear, concise coverage of the world's most important stories. Our goal to keep you informed and empowered in a fast-changing world. Let's dive into today's headlines. All eyes are on Rome, where the Ukraine Recovery Conference unites G7, EU, and allied leaders to chart Ukraine's reconstruction. The highlight, the launch of the Rebuild Ukraine Coalition, co-chaired by Italy and Ukraine, to coordinate massive aid and ensure transparency. The EU pledged an additional €50 billion over 4 years, aiming to rebuild infrastructure and support Ukraine's EU ambitions. President Zelensky, speaking from Kyiv, urged leaders to use frozen Russian assets for reconstruction, a proposal gaining traction. European leaders including Scholz and Macron reaffirmed that supporting Ukraine is an investment in Europe's security and values. The conference is more than a fundraiser. It's a united stand against aggression and a commitment to Ukraine's future. The world is watching as promises turn into action. Rome summit marks a pivotal moment for Ukraine and its allies. The UK and France have signed a landmark agreement to tackle illegal migration and deepen defense ties. The One In, One Out pilot program links legal asylum routes to the prevention of channel crossings, aiming to disrupt human trafficking. If successful, this model could expand across Europe. The pact also establishes a joint defense headquarters, boosting military cooperation and intelligence sharing. This move strengthens Europe's security architecture amid ongoing instability. Cybersecurity, counterterrorism, and joint naval patrols are key features. The agreement signals a new era in Anglo-French relations post-Brexit. Ukraine faces a new wave of Russian missile and drone strikes, targeting cities like Kharkiv, Odessa, and Lviv. Despite strong air defenses, several attacks caused power outages and civilian casualties. Russia's renewed focus on crippling Ukraine's energy grid has drawn international condemnation. The US responded with advanced air defense systems and long-range munitions to bolster Ukraine's defenses. Fierce fighting continues along the eastern and southern fronts, with Ukrainian forces holding key positions. Western military aid remains vital for Ukraine's resistance. The world watches as Ukraine's resilience is tested yet again. The conflict's outcome will shape Europe's security landscape. Global markets soared today, led by a rally in technology stocks. The Nasdaq hit a record high, fueled by strong earnings and optimism around artificial intelligence. European indices followed suit, Asian indices followed suit, reflecting renewed investor confidence. Cooling inflation in G7 nations hints at a possible pause in interest rate hikes, further boosting growth stocks. Commodities like oil and gold remain stable, supporting the positive market mood. Analysts predict sustained growth if economic conditions hold steady. The tech sector's momentum is driving global investment. Markets are signaling a new phase of optimism. In the Middle East, mediators have announced a potential breakthrough in Israel-Hamas hostage negotiations. The proposed deal would exchange hostages for a temporary ceasefire and prisoner releases, though details remain uncertain. Meanwhile, Houthi rebels struck a cargo ship in the Red Sea, escalating regional tensions and disrupting trade routes. A U.S. Navy destroyer responded, ensuring the crew's safety and containing the damage. The attack highlights ongoing threats to global shipping and the challenges for international naval forces. Diplomatic efforts for peace run parallel to active conflicts in the region. The coming days will reveal whether diplomacy or violence prevails. The world watches for signs of stability in a volatile region. Delhi has been chosen to host the 2027 World Shooting Championships, a major win for India's sporting ambitions. The event will showcase India's top-tier facilities and inspire a new generation of athletes. Meanwhile, Wimbledon's semi-finals delivered high drama. The reigning champion advanced to the final with a commanding performance. The second semi-final was a 5-set thriller, with a Spanish rising star earning his first Wimbledon final berth. Fans are eagerly awaiting a classic showdown in Sunday's final. Both events highlight the global reach and excitement of sport. The world's eyes are on Delhi and London. The US and Europe have imposed new sanctions on Iran, targeting its missile and drone programs. The move responds to Iran's destabilizing activities and support for proxy groups in the Middle East. In Lebanon, an Israeli drone strike targeted militants, raising fears of wider conflict with Hezbollah. Meanwhile, Taiwan launched large-scale military drills to test its defenses amid rising tensions with Beijing. These developments underscore the complexity of global security. Each flashpoint is closely watched by diplomats and analysts. The world remains on alert as these crises evolve. As we wrap up, let's recap today's top stories. In Rome, world leaders pledged major support for Ukraine's recovery and debated using frozen Russian assets. The UK and France launched a new migration and defense pact, while the Russia-Ukraine conflict escalated with fresh US aid. Global markets surged on tech optimism, and the Middle East saw both diplomatic progress and renewed violence. Delhi secured the 2027 World Shooting Championships, and Wimbledon's semi-finals thrilled fans. New sanctions on Iran, a drone strike in Lebanon, and Taiwan's military drills rounded out a day of global headlines. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for more updates on the stories shaping our world.